Hey guys, Banana Lock here. Welcome back to another Watch Your Realms video. So this will be a show you summon video, especially talking about the Ingrid Ardea versus the Prateus Uredin banner. So yeah, this was recorded last weekend, so hopefully we are right here that we are actually getting the Praetus and Uredin banner, which you can see right on screen here this weekend. And the question is going to be whether you should summon on this one, or should you instead go for the Ingrid Ardea banner, which is going to be coming up towards the end of the month. So I think there's a few different scenarios that we can actually take a look at. First of all, is there any parts of the game that you're stuck at? Because more often than not, I think this two banners are going to do pretty amazing stuff for you if you land one of the banner units, the exception of Uredin. So if you land Ardea, she's going to be amazing for Gear Dungeon 2, way easier to use than Volca, and going to set up some pretty nasty defenses in GVG, especially if you have a Saga already. And also the fact that, Ardea just clears through a lot of the story mode content because of how crazy her damage is. And Ingrid, on the other hand, you don't need more introductions. Disgusting for GVG, disgusting for Arena, and disgusting everywhere else in the game. On the other hand, if we take a look at the other banner, you have Prateus. And Prateus pretty much does the same thing with, when it comes to Ingrid. I would say that Prateus is actually a lot more versatile than Ingrid because Praetus has a normal mage range, whereas Ingrid has the crazy long ass tower range that everyone was wondering whether it would be useful until the game went ahead to implement a GBG map which relied on that range. So yeah, other than that, you have Uredin on the other side of the banner, which even though he's a non-lord, he's not going to be as amazing as Ardea is. He's going to be great, like I said, for only one purpose, or rather two. That's Conqueror's Codex and BP padding for GVG Demon Soldier affiliation. So yeah, the question will be where are you stuck at? And if any of the game modes that I mentioned earlier, you need those heroes that I mentioned, then it will fit in. Praetus is going to be versatile. He's going to be used everywhere. Praetus is going to make Void Rift so much easier than for you. But I can't say that exactly the same for Ingrid. And Ingrid is amazing, but at the end of the day, you do need Praetus to make Ingrid that amazing in the arena. Ingrid is going to be good on her own, but not going to be as crazy as when you add, Praetus to the whole equation. So there are a few scenarios. I'll just run through them and then hopefully that helps you to decide. If you don't have any of these four heroes and you're near Lord PD, my suggestion would be to go for Praetus just because he's much more versatile. He's going to be unlocking so many different content for you. He's pretty much a one-man show when you talk about Samra because he's going to be doing crazy damage there. Ingrid can do well there, but not as well as Praetus alone because Ingrid kind of needs the full, Watcher team to actually do crazy amounts of damage there. If you take a look at the gallery, you look at Ingrid's buff here, periodically increases damage and healing bonus by 50% for 20 seconds, and the more allies in there on the team, the more frequently it takes effect. So without a full Watcher team, your Ingrid is not going to shine as much. Besides that, she does have a pretty good lot bonus, which is when dealing direct damage to an enemy, faction team members deal 20% extra damage to the enemy within 3 seconds, and this syncs really well with Alistair, Lucius, and Kigiri. Still better with Torador, but it's still not as bad with Ingrid. So it's not that bad of a bonus, but if given a choice, you really want Praetus to, help Ingrid shine. So if you don't have either of these heroes, I would say go for Praetus because that's going to be a lot better for you long term in the game, unless they go out to release an even crazier Arbiter lot. But if you already have Praetus, then the choice is even more obvious. you go for Ingrid and Ardea because you already have Prateus. That's gonna make things so much better for you. And I don't think Prateus awakenings uh, are that necessary to unlock the capabilities of the team. I think that Ingrid's A3 is much more beneficial than Praetus' A3. So yeah, if you have enough lot PD, once again, you have Praetus already. No brainer, chase Ingrid and Ardea. Especially if you don't have Ardea, then you definitely have to go on that banner. I think we've gotten like 3 or 4 Ardea banners up to this point. And yeah. So to give context, Ingrid's A3 during the overload phase, the amount of attacks taken to actually trigger her AoE bazooka as well as the machine gun effect, that's going to reduce to 1, which is going to be crazy in terms of damage output. And for context as well, this used to be Ingrid's A5. They actually moved it to A3 instead when she first came into the game. So I will say that Ingrid's A3 is much more worth chasing for. And yeah, for that reason, when I move on to the next scenario is if you already have Praetus and Ingrid, who should you go for? My suggestion is actually to go for Ingrid's A3. Even if you have A0, you only have a chance to go to 1 PD. Still, chase the A1 because who knows when we'll get Ingrid banner again. Probably not again for a long time because the last one we got was during the anniversary and it's been almost 6 months now. Whereas we've gotten so many other banners like Valdoron's banner, I think is reran 2 times since the first. And yeah, this is only the second time that we're getting Ingrid and the second time that we're getting Praetus' banner. But with all that said, I would still think that Ingrid's banner is much more beneficial just for the A3 in both GVG meta as well as Arena, because Praetus' A3 is not going to be that crazy in those parts of the content unless you have Ingrid's A3. So yeah, if let's say you already have Ingrid and Praetus, there is another thing to consider, which is whether or not you want to wait for the new Nightmare Lord, because with the trajectory that things have been taken to, you can see that a lot of the new gen ancient lords are actually amazing. So we don't have to talk about Praetus because that's a given. Ingrid, crazy lord. No one expected her to be that crazy. She's also a dual faction unit, Watcher and Arbiter. This is the first time we had a lord that had dual faction. So if things follow suit with how Ingrid was introduced, we might get a chaotic and nightmare lord, like a nightmare lord with a chaotic faction. We could very well get that. So that's all speculations at the end of the day. We have no idea whether or not the Nightmare Lord will be that crazy. But if you take a look at the last few lords that came into the game, like Eova, Ingrid, it's, fairly certain that the game will want to launch someone as crazy as the both of them. If let's say they were to introduce a new Nightmare Lord after these 2 banners. Because, don't get me wrong, these 2 banners are amazing, but as seen from the anniversary, Moonton has that habit of launching someone even better after all this. So if you really have Praetus and Ingrid, then you might be in a position where you want to save for the Nightmare Lord instead. And in the scenario where, you actually have Praetus and Ingrid, but you don't have Ardea, then I'll say still try your luck on the Ingrid Ardea banner. If you get Ingrid Awakening, even better, but there's not so much chances of getting Ardea out of that, and that's an amazing time to get her because it's probably the best banner we've ever had in the game. So those are the scenarios. To sum it all up, if you don't have Praetus or Ingrid, or if you don't have any of the 4 heroes, go for the Praetus Uredin banner. I think that's better overall for the game. But if you really love Ingrid and Ardea, I don't think it's a bad idea to go for that either. But my recommendation is Praetus or Uredin. If you have Praetus, then no brainer. Go for the Ingrid Ardea banner. If you already have Ingrid and Ardea, then vice versa, go for the Praetus banner. If you already have both of these lords, Praetus and Ingrid, then my suggestion is to go for the Ingrid banner, because that A3 is going to be much more beneficial in GVG and Arena compared to Prateus' A3. And yeah, if you already have both of them, then the other scenario, like I just mentioned as well, is whether you want to wait for the new Nightmare Lord. But that's all purely speculation. We have no idea if that's going to happen, and we have no idea if he's even going to be good, unless we get more information out of this after the Prateus banner, because that's literally this week. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope that was helpful. I think it's not as clear cut because both of these banners are amazing, but really for very different aspects of the game. Prateus, more overall. Uredin, amazing for GVG affiliation. No other unit can do it as good as him. More comes close, but obviously the more high BP affiliation units you have, the better. And then you have the other side of the story, Ingrid, Ardea, both amazing units, but Ardea is not going to function as well without Chaotic Lord, and Ingrid isn't really at her best if you don't have Prateus. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you still have any more questions, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them, and good luck on your summons if you're doing any this weekend. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.